Kangryong Pengyong Ganghwa Island West Sea Green Economic Triangle. Earning $3 billion annually. 26th, Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone. East Asian ecotourism spot. Creating the miracle on the Taedong River. North Korea's Workers' Party can do a market economy. North Korea's Kangryong International Green Model Zone is projected to generate $3 billion in annual revenue if it grows into a GW-scale offshore wind farm, the largest organic seafood production base in the West Sea, and an ecotourism hotspot in East Asia within 20 years. Kangryong is a special economic zone that competes based on direction rather than speed. While its short-term foreign currency earnings lag behind those of Rason and Kaesong, its brand value as a symbol of a carbon-neutral Korean Peninsula economy, 20 years from now, will position it in a position incomparable to any other special economic zone. The Kangryong International Green Model Zone is a central-level economic development zone designated by a decree of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly of North Korea in November 2013. Located in Kangryong County, South Hwanghae Province, it is a special zone focused on sustainable agricultural development and the utilization of clean energy technologies. It is the only one of North Korea's 29 economic development zones to adopt eco-friendly and green industries as its identity. Situated in a border region just over 10 kilometers from Yeonpyeong Island, it holds immense symbolic potential for inter-Korean economic cooperation. The planned area is approximately 505.5 square kilometers, including a considerably large agricultural and coastal area. The main objectives include establishing a foundation for green industry R&D, producing, processing, and exporting organic agricultural products, utilizing solar, wind, and bio-clean energy, linking seawater and inland aquaculture with light industries, and fostering the entire Kangryong County into an international green model region. The Kangryong International Green Demonstration Zone is an example demonstrating that North Korea's economic development zone strategy does not simply apply a single model nationwide, but rather adopts a differentiated approach tailored to regional characteristics. Along with small-scale tourism-centered special zones, complex industrial special zones, and export processing zones, the Kangryong Green Development Zone represents the diversity of North Korea's special economic zone strategy. Kangryong County is located in the southwestern coastal region of South Hwanghae Province, North Korea, and corresponds to the southernmost part of the territory effectively controlled by North Korea. It is situated on the Korean Peninsula in the southwestern part of South Hwanghae Province, which juts out into the Yellow Sea, while the rest is surrounded by the Yellow Sea. The coast features many islands such as Sunwido, Daeswapdo, and Eowado. Due to the highly indented coastline, tidal flats have developed and the climate is mild. These geographical characteristics constitute the core assets of the Green Demonstration Zone. Its peninsula-shaped topography, jutting out toward the Yellow Sea, provides optimal conditions for utilizing the strong winds of the West Sea for wind power generation, while the tidal flats offer an excellent environment for tidal power generation and mudflat aquaculture. Its location, as the southernmost North Korean territory in the West Sea, situated within 60 to 80 kilometers in a straight line from Incheon and Ganghwa Island in South Korea, is also a decisive strength for cooperation with South Korea following denuclearization. According to an investment proposal released in November 2013, the Kangryong International Green Demonstration Zone identified organic farming and greenhouse technology development, wind and hydroelectric power technologies, and service sectors such as golf courses and hotels as key investment areas. Kangryong County borders a sea rich in marine resources such as sea cucumbers and scallops, and its coastline is abundant in energy resources including wind, solar, and tidal power. Kangryong County possesses favorable conditions for achieving sustainable agricultural development by improving the ecosystem through organic farming methods and introducing a circular production system. In November 2013, North Korea reported signing investment contracts for the Kangryong Green Development Zone with investors from Singapore, Hong Kong, and mainland China. This signifies that Kangryong was one of the first instances among North Korea's economic development zones to successfully secure a contract with a foreign investor. However, due to strengthened UN sanctions and the acceleration of North Korean nuclear testing since 2017, actual investment execution has been completely halted. 12 years after its designation, the substantive development of the Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone remains virtually stalled in its early stages. The infrastructure of Kangryong County itself is extremely poor, and large-scale investment is required for roads, electricity, and telecommunications infrastructure. It remains unclear whether the funds from the Singaporean, Hong Kong, and Chinese investors who signed contracts in 2013 have actually been disbursed. Among North Korea's 29 special economic zones, Kangryong has the lowest public awareness and is the slowest to develop. However, this simultaneously presents a counterintuitive opportunity. It is the only green and eco-friendly special economic zone that has not yet been seized. In an era where ESG and carbon neutrality have become key criteria for global investment following denuclearization, the green positioning of the Code of Conduct is more aligned with the market context than ever before. If denuclearization leads to the lifting of sanctions and active foreign investment attraction and technology transfer, the Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone can grow into a hub for North Korea's green agriculture, biotechnology, and clean energy. It is well suited to create sustainable food and bioindustry models by utilizing the vast farmlands of South Hwanghae Province and its location on the west coast. In the short term, 1-3 years, organic farming and smart farm projects will be pilot expanded through the introduction of Chinese and Korean technologies, and clean energy solar power plants will be constructed. In the intermediate period, 3-7 years, an organic agricultural product processing and export cluster will be formed. The biopharmaceutical and cosmetic raw material industries will be fostered, and carbon-neutral certified products will be developed. In the long term, it will evolve into an international green model zone, becoming a premium organic and green energy export base with the participation of Korean, Chinese, and European companies, and will be linked to regional development policies. Once denuclearization and the lifting of sanctions are achieved, Kangryong will rapidly grow beyond a simple agricultural complex into a futuristic city combining energy, food, and leisure. Investments in smart farms and organic farming establish a circular system for greenhouse agriculture and livestock farming, transforming it into a production base for premium fresh food for Korean and global food companies. Renewable energy investments create large-scale offshore wind, tidal, and solar power complexes to serve as a core supply source for the West Coast power grid and establish industrial complexes dedicated to renewable energy. Ecological and sports tourism investments develop golf courses, equestrian centers, marine resorts, and medical centers to create a hub for attracting global tourists linked to Incheon Airport and Ganghwa Island. Advanced green technology investments utilize eco-friendly building materials and resource recycling technologies to attract projects linked to international organizations such as the Green Climate Fund (GCF). The West Coast Integrated Agricultural and Fisheries Value Chain, connecting the Ongjin and Haeju regions adjacent to the Kangryong International Green Demonstration Zone in South Hwanghae Province, will not only enhance North Korea's food self-sufficiency rate after denuclearization, but will also become a key element of high-value added export industries targeting the South Korean and Northeast Asian markets. By dividing roles according to their respective geographical characteristics, the three regions will function like a single massive agricultural and fisheries factory. Kangryong is responsible for production and seed sectors. It undertakes roles such as organic vegetables, high-functional medicinal herbs, and smart farm-based fruit cultivation. It operates a seed improvement research institute and an organic certification center, and specializes in raw material production by leveraging the brand value of the Green Demonstration Zone. Ongjin is responsible for aquaculture and raw seafood sectors. It engages in large-scale farming of high-value seafood, such as sea cucumbers, abalone, scallops, and laver. It specializes in establishing marine farms, utilizing the pristine waters of the West Sea. Haeju becomes a processing, logistics, and energy base. It processes raw materials from Kangryong and Ongjin to produce home meal replacements HMR, dried goods, and canned products, and handles packaging. It specializes in serving as an export logistics hub via Haeju Port and in the production of packaging materials within the hinterland industrial complex. This is a plan for establishing an integrated value chain. We aim for a circular model that goes beyond simple production to combine distribution and energy. Establish a smart cold chain connection. Cold chain. We will build a low-temperature distribution network connecting Hyesim, Kangryong, and Haeju so that fresh produce from Kangryong and seafood from Ongjin can reach the Korean and Chinese markets in optimal condition. In particular, once the land route connecting Gangwado and Gyeodongdo is established, a one-day delivery zone will be formed, allowing organic vegetables harvested in Kangryong in the morning to reach tables in Incheon and Seoul by evening. Create a virtuous cycle of energy, waste to energy. We will produce biogas by utilizing byproducts generated during the seafood processing in Haeju and Ongjin, as well as manure from the Kangryong livestock complex. By using this gas as heating fuel for the Kangryong Smart Farm or generating electricity to supply within the special zone, we will complete a low-carbon production system befitting the name Green. This is the Kangryong Green joint brand strategy. An integrated brand will be attached to all products produced or processed in Kangryong, Ongjin, and Haeju e.g. West Sea Organic. Additionally, by obtaining international organic and eco-friendly certifications, such as USDA Organic and EU Bio, the strategy targets Korean department stores or global premium markets. Let's examine the competitive landscape of participants by industrial investment category in the Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone after denuclearization. Renewable energy. This is a trinity industry of wind, solar, and tidal power. Current participants. There are currently none due to sanctions blockades. Competitive entrants after denuclearization. These include Korea Electric Power Corporation KEPCO, Doosan Enerbility, and CS Wind Towers. South Korea Vestas and Siemens Gamesa. Wind turbines. Denmark Mingyang and Goldwind Wind Power China. Hanwha Solutions and OCI Solar Power South Korea, and EDF and Columbia Tidal Power UK. Competitive landscape. The average wind speed along the west coast of the Yellow Sea is 6-8 meters per second, a level suitable for economically viable wind power generation. The tidal range along the Kangryong coast is 7 to 9 meters, and due to the characteristics of the west coast, the potential for tidal power generation is among the highest in the world. Denmark's Vestas and Siemens Gamesa are the top two players in the global wind turbine market and are the most aggressive in securing new, undeveloped coastal wind sites. South Korea's Doosan Enerbility possesses competitiveness in offshore wind technology and has an advantage in short-distance logistics between Incheon and Kangryong. China's Mingyang is overwhelmingly competitive in pricing and is expected to be the first to enter the market during the initial installation phase. For solar power, the most realistic model involves combining Chinese panels with South Korean inverters and EPC services. The utilization of renewable energy-generated electricity constitutes the core business model. All three routes are feasible, supplying power to the local industrial complex in Kangryong, transmission to Nampo and Haeju, and reverse transmission via submarine cables to the South Korean west coast. Furthermore, exporting electricity to South Korea serves as a highly stable source of dollar revenue for North Korea. Organic agriculture and smart farm industries. Current participants. North Korean domestic agricultural cooperatives are currently operating traditional farming operations. Competitive entrants after denuclearization. Organic raw materials from South Korea's Nonghyup, CJ Cheiljedang, Pulmuone, and Amori Pacific Smart Farm companies affiliated with Wageningen University in the Netherlands, Israel's Netafim Precision Irrigation, and the Agricultural Division of Japan's Mitsui & Co. Competitive landscape. The mild climate and sea breezes from the Yellow Sea and Kangryong County are favorable for cultivating specialty agricultural products. Combining organic farming methods with greenhouse technology enables year-round cultivation, allowing the region to be positioned as a supplier of premium raw materials for the South Korean and Japanese organic food markets. The Netherlands Wageningen Smart Farm model specifically, the LED greenhouse hydroponics AI control model serves as the most advanced reference model. South Korea's Nonghyup is the partner with the strongest motivation to promote the modernization of North Korean agriculture in conjunction with the Inter-Korean Cooperation Fund. If we establish a fully self-sufficient green agriculture complex that meets 100% of smart farm power demand through Kangryong renewable energy generation, it will be possible to brand it as a world-first fully carbon-neutral agricultural special zone. Fisheries and tidal flat aquaculture industries. Current participants. The Kangryong County Fisheries Cooperative is currently operating small-scale fisheries. It is a natural habitat for sea cucumbers and scallops. Post-denuclearization competitors. These include South Korea's Dongwon Group, CJ Seafood, and Sajo Group Japan's Maruha Nichiro, and Kakagen Seafood Processing Chinese Seafood Processing Companies, and Norway's Mowi Salmon Farming Technology. Competitive landscape sea cucumbers, scallops, and abalone from the Kangryong waters are considered top-tier ingredients in East Asia, commanding tens of thousands of won per kilogram in the premium seafood markets of Japan and China. In particular, sea cucumbers are traded at very high prices in China as a premium ingredient, resulting in profitability per unit area that is 10 to 20 times that of conventional fisheries. Branding organically certified tidal flat-farmed sea cucumbers and scallops as Kangryong Green Demonstration Zone eco-friendly seafood enables premium pricing. Introducing the Norwegian Recirculating Aquaculture System, RAS, would also make land-based salmon and halibut farming possible. The tourism, ecotourism, and golf industries. Current participants. Non-tourism infrastructure is underdeveloped. Competitive entrants. After denuclearization. South Korea's GS E&C and Hyundai E&C are developing golf courses and resorts, Singapore's Genting Eco Resort, Denmark's Natural Energy Island eco-friendly resort model, and eco-friendly luxury resorts such as Club Med and Aman resorts. Competitive landscape Kangryong's ecotourism can be positioned as the Galapagos of the Korean Peninsula by combining yellow sea sunsets, tidal flat experiences, and wind resource experiences. In particular, the historical and geopolitical scarcity of being the southernmost North Korean territory, adjacent to the demilitarized Zone DMZ, serves as a powerful tourism asset. Golf courses are an investment sector explicitly stated in North Korea's official announcement in 2013, and coastal golf courses set against the backdrop of the West Sea winds and tidal flat landscapes represent a rare concept in East Asia. Ecotourism can be differentiated not merely as simple nature tourism, but as a green experience package that combines renewable energy experience tours, organic harvest experiences, and tidal flat ecological tours. The carbon emissions trading and green finance industry. Current participants. Currently, there are none due to sanctions blockades. Competitive entrants after denuclearization. These include the Korea Emissions Trading Union KAU, the Green Climate Fund GCF, based in Incheon, World Bank IFC Green Bonds, companies linked to the EU carbon market, and ESG funds such as BlackRock and Goldman Sachs. Competitive landscape. The Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone has the potential to become the most prominent ESG and green finance investment destination in the world after denuclearization. There are 3 reasons for this. First, since North Korea begins green development with almost no carbon emissions, its carbon baseline is very low, making it easy to issue carbon credits. Second, the Green Climate Fund GCF is headquartered in Incheon, providing a geopolitical advantage that allows for priority support for green development projects on the Korean Peninsula. Third, Western ESG funds, including support for North Korea's green transition in their investment portfolios, has strong promotional value. North Korea offers various investment incentives. The right to co-issue carbon credits is a unique incentive available only in Kangryong. If a contract is signed with a renewable energy investment company recognizing a certain percentage of carbon reduction credits as the investor's share, it becomes an incentive that can be immediately cashed in within the EU carbon market or the Korean emissions trading system. With 50-year land use rights and a guarantee of exclusive development rights, sites for renewable energy power generation, smart farm complexes, and eco-resorts are leased exclusively over the long term, effectively blocking the entry of competitors. Regarding power export revenue-sharing contracts, a structure is designed to distribute profits 50-50 with a Korean partner when renewable energy produced in Kangryong is exported to Korea. This serves as a stable revenue source for Korean power companies, thereby incentivizing long-term investment. Branding the world's first fully carbon-neutral special economic zone guarantees premium pricing by granting special green certifications to agricultural, fishery, and energy products produced in Kangryong. This certification itself becomes a marketing asset in the global ESG market. Regarding the Green Climate Fund, GCF-linked grant and low-interest financing support, if North Korea joins the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change UNFCCC and submits its nationally determined contribution NDC after denuclearization, it can secure grant and low-interest funds from the GCF under the pretext of supporting climate-vulnerable countries. A promise to prioritize the investment of these funds in the construction of Kangryong infrastructure serves as an incentive for foreign investors to reduce infrastructure risk. Strategies for pursuing interests that are best for North Korea are also necessary. Principle 1. Position Kangryong as a showcase for a green supply chain decoupling from China. Both the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act (IRA) and the EU Green Deal are converging toward regulating the carbon footprint of supply chains. Products produced using renewable energy within Kangryong can receive carbon-neutral origin certification, automatically circumventing regulations under the EU Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism (CBAM). This positioning is a strategy in which Kangryong fills a niche that Chinese products cannot, serving as the only pathway for North Korea to directly access Western markets without dependence on China. Principle 2. Monetize renewable energy first as a source of revenue for electricity exports. Selling renewable energy to Korea is the fastest way to generate foreign currency revenue in Kangryong before agriculture and fisheries get on track. Korea has an obligation to increase the share of renewable energy to 30% by 2030, but is facing difficulties due to a shortage of domestic sites. Supplying Kangryong offshore wind power to Incheon via submarine cables benefits Korea as well, making immediate negotiation settlement possible. Based on a 1 GW wind farm, annual revenue from electricity sales alone amounts to approximately $100 to $200 million. Principle 3. Intensively foster sea cucumber and scallop farming as high-value export items. Sea cucumbers from the Kangryong waters are a premium ingredient traded in the Chinese market for $100 to $500 per kilogram. By creating the Kangryong Green Demonstration Zone Organic Sea Cucumber brand and selling directly to premium seafood markets in China and Japan, annual export revenue exceeding $500 million is possible within 10 years. This is a sector with low initial investment costs and rapid profit realization. Principle 4. Link with South Hwanghae Province's regional development policies. Linking the development of Kangryong with North Korea's regional development policies makes it advantageous to secure resource allocations from the central government. Kangryong will be designated as a green hub for South Hwanghae Province to concentrate provincial-level investment in agriculture, fisheries, and energy infrastructure. Principle 5. Develop carbon credits as North Korea's first international financial product. Kangryong will be utilized as the first channel for North Korea to participate in the international carbon market following denuclearization. If carbon credits generated from Kangryong's renewable energy and organic farming projects are sold on the EU Emissions Trading System (ETS), Korean Allotment Allowances (KAU), or the Voluntary Carbon Market (VCS) Gold Standard, a structure will be created allowing North Korea to directly raise dollars in the international financial market without the need for investors. This will serve as the first test case for the internationalization of North Korea's financial system. Principle 6. Designing the West Sea Green Economic Triangle of Kangryong Baeknyongdo Ganghwado. By designing a triangular economic structure consisting of the North Korean Kangryong Green Production Base, the South Korean Baeknyongdo Logistics Transshipment and Customs Clearance Base, and the South Korean Ganghwado Consumption and Distribution Base, Kangryong's renewable energy, organic agricultural products, and seafood will be supplied to the South Korean market via the shortest possible logistics routes. This triangular structure, along with the Haeju Kaesong Gyeodongdo Economic Corridor, represents a long-term vision to transform the entire South Hwanghae province into a core axis of inter-Korean economic cooperation. The distinctiveness and comprehensive outlook of Kangryong. There are two decisive differences between the Kangryong International Green Pilot Zone and other North Korean economic development zones. One is its ideological distinctiveness. It is the only one among the 29 special zones to adopt green and sustainability as its identity, perfectly aligning with global ESG investment trends. Another factor is the superiority of timing. While the market was not ready at the time of its designation in 2013, as of 2026, carbon neutrality, ESG, and green finance have become mainstream global investments, making Gangyong's positioning actually pioneering. A realistic target for potential revenue 10 years after denuclearization is an annual total of $500 million to $1 billion, comprising $100 million to $200 million in renewable energy power exports, $300 million to $500 million in organic agricultural and fishery product exports, $100 million to $200 million in ecotourism, and $50 million to $100 million in carbon credit sales. In 20 years, if the GW-scale offshore wind farm is completed, the area grows into the largest organic seafood production base in the Yellow Sea and becomes a major ecotourism destination in East Asia. Annual foreign exchange earnings of $2 to $3 billion will be possible. Gangyong is a special economic zone that competes based on direction rather than speed. Although short-term foreign currency earnings lag behind those of Rason and Kaesong, in 20 years, the brand value of being a symbol of a carbon-neutral Korean Peninsula economy will be in a position incomparable to any other special economic zone. Starting next time, we will discuss the current status of North Korea by industry and the direction and prospects of market economy development following denuclearization. In the first session, we will look at the automotive industry and market. Thank you.